The morning mist clung to the towering pines like a gentle embrace, filtering the golden sunlight into soft, dancing beams. Deep in the heart of the Oregon wilderness, where cell towers couldn't reach and GPS signals faded to nothing, the forest held at the heart of the forest. The morning mist clung to the towering pines like a gentle embrace, filtering the golden sunlight into soft, dancing beams. Deep in the heart of the Oregon wilderness, where cell towers couldn't reach and GPS signals faded to nothing, the forest held its ancient secrets close. Emma Rodriguez had been hiking for what felt like hours, her college backpack growing heavier with each step. The trail markers had disappeared somewhere behind her, lost in a maze of fallen logs and overgrown paths. She paused, breathing heavily, and pulled out her phone for the 20th time. No signal. The battery icon blinked at 15%. This is not how I plan to spend my weekend, she whispered to herself, pushing a strand of auburn hair from her face. The junior photography student had driven up from Portland State University, chasing rumors of a hidden waterfall that would be perfect for her final project. Now, instead of capturing nature's beauty, she was becoming uncomfortably acquainted with being lost in it. The sun climbed higher, and Emma's water bottle grew lighter. Her hiking boots, still relatively new, had begun to rub against her heels. Each step felt more uncertain than the last. She tried to remember the survival tips from that documentary she'd watched, but her mind kept circling back to one uncomfortable truth. She was completely, utterly lost, as the afternoon shadows began to lengthen. Emma found herself fighting back tears of frustration. She sat down heavily on a moss-covered boulder, finally admitting defeat. The forest around her seemed to pulse with life, birds calling from invisible perches, leaves rustling with mysterious movement, but she had never felt more alone. That's when she heard it. The soft crunch of footsteps on forest floor, measured and purposeful. Emma's heart raced. She'd read too many stories about strange encounters in remote places. But as the footsteps grew closer, a calm voice called out through the trees. Hello there. Are you all right? A man emerged from between the towering firs, and Emma's first thought was that he looked like he belonged here. His blonde hair caught the filtered sunlight, and his weathered hands held a small digital camera. He wore the practical clothes of someone who spent real time outdoors, not the brand new gear that marked weekend adventurers like herself. I think I'm lost, Emma admitted, feeling foolish but relieved to see another human being. Really lost? The man's expression softened with understanding. I'm Jake, he said simply, settling onto the ground near her boulder with the easy grace of someone comfortable in the wilderness. And you're about 3 miles off the main trail, 3 miles. Emma's voice cracked slightly. I thought I was just following the path. Jake nodded, pulling out his own water bottle and offering it. To her, the trails up here can be tricky. Storm knocked down some trees last month, and the markers got scattered. Happens more often than you'd think. He paused, studying her face with kind eyes. You're not the first college student I've found wandering around up here. Something in his tone made Emma look at him more carefully. There was a story there, she realized. A depth that spoke of experience with more than just forest navigation. Do you live around here? She asked, accepting the water gratefully. About 2 miles that way. Jake gestured vaguely north. Been in these woods most of my life. He was quiet for a moment, then added, used to guide search and rescue operations before I retired early. Funny how some habits stick. As they sat in the dappled afternoon light, Jake began to share stories of the forest. He spoke of the family of deer that visited his cabin each morning, of the great horned owl that had made its home in the old oak near his garden. His voice carried the rhythm of someone who had learned to appreciate silence and the small wonders that filled it. Emma found herself relaxing for the first time all day. She told him about her photography project, about her dreams of capturing moments that made people pause and really see the world around them. Jake listened with the full attention of someone who understood the desire to find beauty in unexpected places. Would you like to see something special before we head back? Jake asked as the sun began its descent toward the horizon. It's not far, and it's on the way to the trail? Asterisk curious despite her exhaustion, Emma nodded. Jake led her through a section of forest she never would have found on her own, past a small stream that sang over smooth stones up a gentle rise carpeted with fallen pine needles, asterisk, and there, in a clearing she couldn't have imagined, stood the waterfall from her dreams. But this wasn't just any waterfall, this was magic made manifest. The water cascaded down a series of natural stone steps, each pool catching and reflecting the late afternoon light like scattered diamonds. Wildflowers bloomed along the edges, and the air itself seemed to shimmer with possibility. Asterisk, oh my goodness, Emma breathed, immediately reaching for her camera. It's perfect, it's absolutely perfect, asterisk, Jake smiled, watching her work. Found this place when I was about your age, he said. Been coming here ever since. Something about it always reminded me that the world is bigger and more beautiful than whatever problems I was carrying around. Asterisk as Emma captured frame after frame. Jake told her about the day he'd first stumbled upon this hidden gem. He'd been 22, recently returned from military service, struggling to find his place in a world that felt too small and too loud after everything he'd experienced. This waterfall had become his sanctuary, his reminder that healing happened. In quiet moments and unexpected discoveries, asterisk, I never brought anyone here before, he admitted as Emma finished photographing. Always felt like it was meant to be found, not shown. Asterisk the walk back to the main trail passed in comfortable conversation. Jake pointed out edible plants, animal tracks in the soft earth, the signs that experienced outdoorsmen read like a familiar book. Emma realized she was learning more about the forest in these few hours than she had in all her previous hiking adventures combined. Asterisk. When they finally reached the trailhead where Emma's car sat alone in the small parking area, the sun was painting the sky in shades of rose and gold. Asterisk. Thank you, Emma said, and she meant it in ways that went far beyond simple gratitude for directions, for everything. For the waterfall, for the stories, for reminding me that getting lost sometimes leads to the best discoveries. Asterisk Jake smiled, the kind of smile that reached his eyes and spoke of genuine happiness. Take care of yourself out there, he said. And remember, the best photographs happen when you stop trying so hard to find them and let them find you? Asterisk as. Emma drove back toward civilization, her camera full of images that would indeed become the centerpiece of her final project. She realized that she'd found something more valuable than the perfect shot. She discovered that sometimes the most profound rescues aren't about finding your way back to where you started, but about finding your way to exactly where you needed to be. Asterisk the forest kept its secrets, but it had shared one of its greatest gifts, the reminder that kindness exists in unexpected places, and that the best stories often begin with getting completely, beautifully lost.